General Hospital recap October 8th. Carly spirals, Drew plots revenge, and Britt faces a dangerous ultimatum. On today's GH, tensions boil over cross Port Charles, Carly's paranoia deepens, Drew targets his enemies, and Britt's secrets put her directly in Agent Brennan's line of fire. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel General Hospital. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. General Hospital recaps for Wednesday, October 8th reveal Emma Scorpio Drake, Braden Bruner, and Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mozza, got things straight, and Jack Brennan, Chris L. McKenna, questioned Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibaud. Also, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, supported Ronnie Bard, Erika Slezak, and Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, and Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, searched the Quartermain mansion. What to watch for? Carly's panic pushes her to the edge. Drew and Portia face off as secrets surface. Britt's past comes back to haunt her. Trina and Kai catch up with Emma and Gio. Emma felt hurt when Gio decided to move out, however, before he could explain why, Trina Robinson, Tabianana Ali, and Kai Taylor, Jens Austin Astrup, arrived at Volanino's. While Emma updated Trina on everything that occurred after her kiss with Gio, Gio shared with Kai what transpired at Monica Quartermain's, Leslie Charlson, memorial service. He explained Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, was thrown out by Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, and in a slip of the tongue, Kai told Gio that he believed Drew was at fault. Kai later regretted his words to Trina, but the softball that had Kai's fingerprints on it, linking him to the crime scene. So they decided he needed to keep acting as a loyal intern until the shooter was apprehended. And Gio get things straight. As Emma was making her exit from the gym, she inquired of Gio whether he was genuinely planning to relocate and move out from Anna's, and asked if he was leaving Port Charles. Feeling downhearted, she held herself accountable for jeopardizing the relationship they shared. It all stemmed from her decision to kiss him. She assumed, particularly since he did not reciprocate her feelings in the same manner that she harbored for him. To her surprise, Gio's expression brightened, and he confessed that he actually had feelings for her as well. Now that they finally communicated properly, overcome with relief, he embraced Emma and planted a gentle kiss on her lips. Curtis conveyed a theory to Portia. Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, concealed the positive pregnancy test when Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, arrived at her office. He expressed his belief that Drew no longer had any blackmail power over them and mentioned he had a strategy to find out if Drew still had the file. Curtis also said he was on his way to see the patient when Dr. Isaiah Gannon, Andy Wilson, interrupted him, accusing him of misusing his authority. Portia responded that Isaiah was merely trying to protect his boss in a misguided manner. She then told Curtis she wanted to be present when he faced Drew. Drew and Willow talked some things out. Meanwhile, Drew expressed to Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, his wish that she and Scout Quartermain, Cosette Abernanti, would live with him after he got out of the hospital. But she feared it might negatively impact her custody case. Willow received a notification from the court stating that a new judge had been assigned to her case, and she was heartbroken to learn it wouldn't be reviewed until mid-January. She panicked at the thought of not seeing her children until next year. But Drew said that he and Martin Gray or Michael E. would ensure her custody was restored before then. Their discussion was cut short by Curtis and Portia, with Portia reprimanding Nurse Tate for not being at her station in the ER. A flustered Willow then left. Drew demanded Portia apologize to Willow. Once the trio found themselves alone, Drew insisted that Portia say sorry to Willow, but she was having none of it. Dr. Robinson made it clear that, as the co-chief of staff, she was in charge at the hospital. She challenged him to follow through on his threats to ruin her career. "Go ahead," she shouted. "I'm done living in fear." Drew, claiming that recovering from 2 gunshot wounds left him too drained to deal with them, ordered the pair to leave his room. In the hallway, Curtis and Portia exchanged a smile, and Curtis exclaimed, "We were correct. He has nothing." Drew summons Martin. Drew summoned Martin to his room to get an update on what was in his safe. As he looked at the digital log from the PCPD investigation, Drew noticed that the evidence against Portia was missing. He had seen it in the safe the night he was shot. Martin said whoever shot Drew likely took the envelope, which led them to think that the shooter was probably Curtis or Portia, the only ones aware of the blackmail material. Even though Martin wanted to alert the authorities, Drew insisted that for Willow's sake, Michael had to be the one to take the fall for his shooting. The end of their marriage. Later, Curtis made his way back to Portia's office, where she once more concealed the pregnancy test. Coming to the realization that Drew no longer possessed any incriminating evidence against her, they could proceed with the dissolution of their marriage. Curtis informed his wife that she was free to initiate divorce proceedings as soon as the police executed an arrest. "I suppose there's no longer any justification for us to remain married." Yet Portia appeared uneasy, her unanticipated pregnancy weighing heavily on her thoughts. She no doubt recalled concealing the truth about Trina's paternity from Curtis, and the trouble it caused, and now she's doing it again. Britt attempted to blackmail Jocelyn, interrupted by Jack Brennan. At the hospital, Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, reacted strongly against Britt's attempt to blackmail her, insisting that her mother would never allow Britt to stay at the Metro Court. Joss then flipped the situation, highlighting that Britt had more secrets than she did, including her ties to the dubious organization operating from the Five Poppies Resort. As their argument continued, Jack showed up and introduced himself to Britt, but she dismissed him and quickly left. Jocelyn revealed that Britt was threatening to reveal her WSB status, prompting Jack to offer his help with the issue. He then assigned Jocelyn her next task. Willow had eavesdropped on Brennan's interrogation of Britt. Later, while Willow listened in, Jack went to Britt at the ER desk to ask her about her experience at the Five Poppies. Britt claimed she had nothing to share since she was just a guest at the resort. Jack responded that he wouldn't need to call her into his office if she would stop causing problems for him and his agents. But before he left, Jack made a subtle threat. He warned her if she was lying about her role in the research operation, she would be breaking several international laws and could face life in prison in Steinmauer. "And trust me, Steinmauer is not where you want to end up," he laughed. "Just ask your mother to talk to Britt on her way out." Subsequently, Britt took a moment to halt Willow, who was in the process of departing prematurely to attend to a pressing family emergency. Willow extended her support to her recently discovered cousin. She asserted that the sole individual capable of assisting her in her predicament was her lawyer, who had been unaccounted for. Willow mentioned that she had observed Britt conversing with Agent Brennan not long ago. She said it was obvious that Britt had her own complications to navigate through. A frantic Carly dropped in on Elizabeth. Fearing arrest, a panicked Carly went to see Elizabeth, eager to find out what the nurse had told the police regarding the night she threatened Drew's life. While having tea in the kitchen, Liz eventually revealed that the PCPD hadn't contacted her at all. Carly felt puzzled since she had informed Anna that Elizabeth was a witness. Elizabeth proposed that the police might have a more significant suspect in mind and realized that Carly was hoping they would focus on her instead of Michael. Carly insisted that her son was innocent, but worried that Drew was intent on sending Michael to prison so that Willow could regain custody of the kids. Elizabeth encouraged Carly to trust the real criminal would be caught. Liz encouraged her to trust that the real criminal would be caught, but that didn't appear to allay Carly's paranoia. Afterward, Liz went upstairs to take a call, and Carly wandered into the living room to look around. When Liz returned downstairs, Carly placed her phone in her purse and mentioned she needed to meet Jason and started outside. Once outside Elizabeth's front door, Carly shut her eyes and took a deep breath, looking a little suspicious. The initial search of the mansion and learned more about Drew. After finding out that the search warrant was issued for the wrong address, Ronnie refused to allow the police to search the Quartermain estate. Chase inquired about the identity of the stranger from Brooklyn. Quartermain Chase, Amanda Setton, and she promised to explain later. Before leaving, Anna cautioned the family against taking any actions that could be seen as obstructing justice. When Jason expressed gratitude to his newly discovered aunt for supporting the family, a puzzled Ronnie asked who among them was accused of attempting to assassinate a congressman. She then received an explanation of the events that caused Drew to become estranged from the family and why Michael was considered a suspect. Michael and Jason supported Ronnie, much to Tracy's chagrin. Meanwhile, Michael took a moment to excuse himself for a phone call, while Ned Quatermain, Wally Kurth, left to go to one of the family lawyers' homes. Tracy huffed, saying they would deal with the police returning as a family, and told Ronnie she didn't need to stay. So Ronnie decided to return to her motel. Jason pointed out that since the house now belonged to Ronnie, she should feel at home, but Tracy insisted the will was not valid. After his call, Michael jumped in and stated that, as the person everyone assumed would inherit the house, he would contest the will, but he wanted to respect his grandmother's wishes. To Tracy's frustration, he declared the issue settled to Chase back at the station about the wrong address on the search warrant. Back at the station, Anna expressed her frustration to Chase about Ada Turner's careless error in listing the wrong address on the search warrant. Now we've lost the element of surprise, and my in-laws are fully aware of our plans, Chase complained. Anna pointed out that Jason knows how to dispose of evidence and would do anything to protect Michael, leading Chase to question if he should have stayed behind. However, Anna didn't want to put him in a difficult situation between his job and his in-laws, especially since they needed to follow the rules. Later, with a corrected search warrant, Chase and Anna went back to the Quatermains with several officers, and Chase noticed the revolver in question was absent from Edward Quatermain's John Ingle collection. Jason went to meet Carly, but Brennan showed up instead. Jocelyn lied to her mom. Michael sought out Willow. Following his departure from his family, Jason made his way to the docks to meet Carly, only to find Brennan there instead. At the same time, Carly arrived home to see Jocelyn weeping. "Vaughn has been lying to me this whole time," Joss sobbed to her mother, putting on an impressive act. "I just discovered that he's a WSB agent." Michael went over to Elizabeth's house to see Willow, but his ex was still at her job. Acting a bit nervously, he asked if he could come in, but before entering Elizabeth's home, Michael glanced around the front of the house. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.